this is our passion. You know, it's the aspect of being able to dream and see this all come to life and know that someday this could be the next Instagram, the next worldwide sensation. That's what gets me going every day.
Like I said, I had no idea this was ever going to be in my path.
Hey everyone, my name's Malika.
And my name's Chantel.
And we're the co-founders of Locals. So Chantel and I both went to Santa Clara University. We both were raised in the Bay Area, and you know, when we were at Santa Clara, I really wanted to study abroad. I feel like you did too. But when we were there, we both ended up going to London. We were really fortunate to spend our part of our third year in college there, and you know, we got to travel over the weekends. So we were like, hey, you know what? We're here. We got to explore. Like, let's do it. But you know, with school and also with like an internship, it was so hard to actually spend the time to like research what to do and this and that. I remember looking through all these websites and reading through all of these personal blogs, and I was like, okay, well, why isn't there just one singular place where I can find out where locals go to eat, where they go to see things, where they go to have fun, you know? And so that's essentially where the idea came from. I didn't know that I wanted it to be an app or this or that yet. I just had that idea of like, okay, a singular place with all these local recs so that people can actually get to know the places that they're going to.
Before our abroad trip, I interned in Singapore because I was born there and I wanted to get an experience of where I was born. And every time I've been there, we go to the popular places, but I felt like I never really knew Singapore. So that's why I went. And when I was there, I was by myself, so I was like, what do I do? Like, where do I go? I mean, I was like, so now what? After a week, I don't know what else to do. So I downloaded a dating app. That was also partially to just, you know, get over my fear of dating. But also, I hope that a local can share their recommendations with me. And so I met one guy, and I told him that I wanted to learn more about Singapore and just learn more about the culture. He sent me like a long list of different restaurants, different places I should go with a dash of what I should eat there. And now thinking back to it, this experience is what I would get through Locals, like through the app. But I got it through a different app. But just through that one person, I was able to learn so much more about Singapore, learn more about my birthplace, and I told my mom, who's a Singaporean, more about her country than she knew. So I was pretty proud of about that. I remember it was during, we were about to have our accounting class, like go live, because it was on Zoom. And then we were talking, she just brought it up. She was like, remember that idea I told you about? Like, would you want to do it with me? And I was like, me? Build an app with you? And then she was like, yeah, I mean, we can figure it out. Like, there's so many resources, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I mean, yeah, I'm down. I never saw that for myself in like my career at all, but I mean, a year later, I can't imagine it any other way. So
in January, essentially, we kind of just got our minds together, and the whole reason that we actually started thinking about it concretely was because there was an accelerator school through our entrepreneurship center at the university, and it's called the Bronco Venture Accelerator, and they held something also called the Prep School. So an accelerator is essentially where you can like take your startup through, and you can get in touch with investors and learn how to pitch yourself and all of that. But the Prep School was it was more like preparing yourself for the accelerator. Yeah. And so we like filled out this questionnaire, and that's essentially how we actually started thinking concretely about it.
Yeah. I'd say that, and also our survey.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember we were like, before we even put more time, effort, and even money into this, we should see if people would even use the app.
Yeah.
So then we made a survey asking general questions like, would you use an app that told you about recommendations from locals, and like, do you use Yelp and things like that? And we got 200 respondents, I think, in like a couple days.
Yeah.
Like less than a week.
Yeah.
And I think the overwhelming response of yes, you should do it ultimately pushed us to continue.
And from there, we realized there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
And I guess both of us just kind of got overwhelmed, but then we realized, like, I think other people are interested in this vision. Like, we should reach out for help. And Chantal had this great idea, like, hey, like, what if we get interns? And I was like, oh my god, you're a genius. You are a genius. Like, I don't know, and I've really enjoyed it so far. We've had a total of almost 40 interns throughout, but I don't know, just the fact that they participated and they were willing to put in some time into this just means so much to us. It's been such a fun journey so far, and it's just crazy because, like, I feel like sometimes I'll get stuck in it and I'll be like, oh my god, like, this isn't gonna work, like, nobody's gonna download it, right? But this is our passion. It's the aspect of being able to dream and see this all come to life and know that someday this could be the next Instagram, the next worldwide sensation. That's what gets me going every day.
Like I said, I had no idea this was ever going to be in my path. And, like, sometimes I get scared when people, like, now whenever we see our friends or family, the first thing they ask us about is locals.
Yeah.
And it always goes, I always get a little scared, but I also get excited knowing that people are looking forward to what we're going to bring them. And the fact that we already have a support system of our friends and family is just we're so lucky.
Yeah. We've actually, nobody's really, like, turned down the idea when we bring it up to them yet.
Yeah. They usually just ask questions like, how are you different from other apps? Why would I download this instead of this? And then we always have answers. And then they're like, oh, okay. That's good.
My favorite question, actually, that anyone ever asks us is, aren't you Yelp?
You think that, but essentially, what I like about it is that I think we're essentially taking Yelp and making it for Gen Z, but also we're not supporting, like, the big chains like McDonald's and Starbucks. Like, I remember when we were in Paris, we looked on Yelp, and the first thing that came up was a McDonald's. Like, I'm not going to Paris to eat at a McDonald's. So I hope that this app can, like, show people how to, embrace the culture of the area that you're going to, and embrace the mom and pop shops, and just learn how to put your money into the small businesses. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. We want to support these small businesses.
Yeah. And one of the things that we're doing for it is essentially called our Small Business Interview Initiative. So as you can see, like, on our social media and on our YouTube, essentially we've been going into businesses and just interviewing the owners, seeing their stories, sitting down with them literally just like this, to get to know why they started it, what's going on with them, their challenges, their excitements, what they're most proud of, just humanizing the business to show people what goes on behind the name, And another thing is that Locals is so much more than an app. It's a community. Like, the whole point is to get people to know people, to get the communities to learn deeper about the people that are coming, and to get the people who are coming to actually learn the culture, the people, the experience of what that place actually is. Like, it's so easy to go to a place and be like, oh yeah, I saw it. But did you really get to know it? Did you meet anyone there? This app is gonna be, it's gonna have so many more features someday. It's like a local guides, essentially like an Uber. So it would be like you could rent a local tour guide and just spend the day with a local, because there's no better way to get to know a place than someone who grew up there. Locals is so much more than an app. It's a mission to support these people, these businesses, and it's a community to help you build yourself as a person and help build the world and make it a better place.
Yeah, and especially during the pandemic, we obviously couldn't travel, so we went around our own hometown areas, and there were so many places that we were discovering because of TikTok and Instagram, and even just local recommendations from our friends and family. And we were like, how have we lived here for 22 years and have not known about this? And then that's another way that we validated the app ideas. Like, you don't even need this app just to travel. This can help you in your own hometown.
Yeah, and I guess one more thing is we really wanted to thank everyone who supported us this far. Just kind of wanted to hop on today to tell you guys a little bit more about us and put a face behind the app, behind our Instagram, behind everything, to kind of share our story. So thanks.
Thank you all.
Bye! Bye!